One, and we are live. Hey guys, welcome again to another episode of Crypto Chat. So we have Andy with us today from Crypto Villages, and this will be an interesting chat given the current market scenario as well, and understanding about the new developments that Crypto Villages has done in the recent days. So Andy, first and foremost, how are you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome, glad to hear that. So just a quick take on the current market scenario out there. I'll just give you a direct question with the A and B option. Do you prefer centralized exchanges? Do you prefer decentralized exchanges?
A bit of both. For security and your own funds, obviously the decentralized, but we need centralized for regulation. So one can't work without the other for me. So it needs to be a mixture of both. How you balance one or the other is hard to say, but you need both.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because for people who are currently new to crypto and currently want to depend on someone else doing the major chunk of work for them, and it's just like, I log into a specific portal, I just put some money in, I just buy some crypto. It's centralized exchanges or KEXs as they call them, that's the easiest way through to them. So for newbies, yes. But on the sidelines, yes, if you want to safeguard your crypto, once you're a little experienced with the assets and stuff, your decentralized exchanges would be a much better option. But that's, again, personally my take. However, yeah, if you ask me, in an ecosystem, both should definitely exist. You cannot completely rely upon a decentralized exchange. You cannot completely rely upon a centralized exchange until and unless the entire monetary system in the world actually changes to complete digital. I guess centralized exchanges will definitely exist out there. So that's my take on it. But yeah, that's a debate for another or a discussion for another day. Coming back to Crypto Villages, what's cooking?
So we'll start off with the new team we've got now. Obviously, the new team members. So people may have seen from the announcements, we had a guy called Paul, who's now a development team leader. Okay, and his role is now to oversee the running of kind of like the whole tech side. So we're very fortunate. He's got 20 plus years experience in IT in general. And by him coming in, he's enabled us to be a lot more structured and transition between certain things. They happen a lot more smoothly now, whereas it was a bit disjointed before. So it's much, much better. And then coming on to the Unity guys, I'm not sure if you remember, but when we first started out, we had an Australian company that were helping us build the actual game. So everything that you see that you've played on the beta all stem from them. So basically, we've gone back to those guys, and they're now helping us finish off the game. So when we started with them, there was like a phase one that they delivered that phase one. Phase two came to us, and now we've gone back to those guys for phase three. And I'll go a bit more into obviously what they're doing and what the plan is. But they've enabled us to basically kick off from where we was, and they're doing their finishing touches, obviously, to get us to launch. And then,
awesome.
Finally, following on from some of the other announcements as well, there was a blockchain company that Mitch actually went to see in Australia, and they're helping us in the background, sort of putting all the frameworks together. So we've kind of got three areas there that have been a massive change to Crypto Villages, and it's enabling us to basically be even better than what we was before, to be honest.
Awesome. Glad to hear that the system itself is entirely evolving right now. So it's now moving on to that stage where we can actually expect the full game to be seen and the integration all coming into place. It's all a lot more structured, I would say, rather than what started off earlier as just an idea. Now it's a lot more structured, and now we are almost up to the product end. So, personally, what's your feeling with all this development? All these days spending with Crypto Villages team and stuff. How is your experience? How has it been?
So for me, to be honest, because I like to be open up front, it's been very stressful. Just going through different. What people don't realize is in crypto, people think you can just set up something. It's kind of created and done over a couple of weeks. Behind the scenes, which people don't see, it is mind-blowing. It's always evolving. There's things always changing. You're always trying to put sort of new ideas into practice, but it's not always that simple. So, you'll come up against a problem, and then you're trying to work out, right, how do I solve this? Okay, I need to do this, do that. And there always seems to be a hurdle. And for me personally, I understand why a lot of crypto projects sort of give up or sort of call it a day, because you get to those points and you kind of say to yourself, is it worth it? Now, obviously, for us, 1,000,000%, because we're here not only for ourselves, but for the investors. And obviously, we keep doing it. But it's been a massive, massive eye-opener to me personally. And it's grueling. But the reward is at the end of it, you complete, you deliver, and that's the satisfaction.
Awesome. I mean, I like that honest answer when you said that it is stressful. A lot of people do not realize that crypto is not about just creating a contract and launching it on the blockchain, but a lot more needs to be done behind the scenes. And since a lot of work on those grounds happen in a voluntary state, and the people who are working on it will be in different parts of the world, unless the entire project is based out of a single, location, it's pretty hard to get things organized, get things done, different time zones and different calibers that you can actually tap into, and all this stuff going on in the background. So yeah, I mean, I would say kudos to the team in terms of having this built first to a maximum extent possible, then go ahead with the sort of the pre-sales arrangement. I mean, I really like the path that the entire project has personally taken, because I've been seeing it from probably day one or even earlier than that. I guess, I don't know. So when I met Mitch, it was in very, very early stages, I would say. It was somewhat kind of that pre-sale or pre-to-pre-sale period that was there with the project. So I've seen how it has actually evolved and how it has actually come up to the day that we are doing right now, that we are talking of right now. So I'm pretty amazed. I mean, yep, that's pretty good. So what are the developmental changes or probably updates that you have for us today regarding Crypto Villages?
Yeah, so if I go through the progress of kind of where we're up to now, so the first key thing for us was the new team members that have come on board. They basically enabled us to structure things in a different way and be more sort of fluid in between. You were just talking about staff, for example, then, okay? If you've got 10 team members, the hardest part is putting all those 10 team members together and saying, right, this is your job, that's your job, you do this, you do that. So previously, we never had the perfect structure to enable the transition between those people. Now we have that. So for me, that's the biggest progress we've had over the last couple of weeks. And behind the scenes, there's been numerous meetings, VCs, and everything to structure that in the correct way. So that's the biggest change, I would say, since obviously a few weeks ago. So that's massive for us as a project, and you'll see things starting to happen now in a lot more structured format. It'll be a lot smoother, and obviously that will enable us to get up to launch and deliver everything that we obviously plan to do. The next update is the new contract for the NFTs. So for the commanders and the weapons, that literally, I don't know if you've seen it, but it is live now. So you can actually mint the NFT commanders and weapons, and it's got a lot nicer page. It's smoother. If you look at the actual blockchain, you will see the actual verified contract. You'll see the actual tags for the commanders and the weapons. It's a lot more detailed compared to what it was before. So with these new guys on board, we've been able to sort of have personal one-on-one with the coders, and it's just made it a completely different level.
Yeah, I'm just loading the page in the background while you're telling that, so that I can get that on the screen.
Yeah, and then one of the other announcements last week as well was that Mitch and Brandon shot over to Sydney and met up with the Unity guys for the actual game development. So the bit I mentioned before, the guys that obviously were there to deliver the part one of the game that obviously everybody's been playing. There's a complete new structure now in place, which will be coming out this week. So there'll be a new upgraded roadmap. There'll be stages of kind of what's happening on each phase. Obviously, there's not going to be set times because we can't give that definitive, but it'll be broke up into phases so people can see exactly what's happened. So that's all been agreed. That's what's been done over the last sort of week, 2 weeks. You've probably seen as well, we've got 3 PVM bosses completed now out of the 8. I don't know if you've seen the artwork. The wheel spins, which obviously was one of the priorities to do, that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And then obviously the update after that will be the beta.
Awesome. I'm just searching for that single image which had all the 3 bosses that was actually showed across. Wait, I'll just check over there. I think it was in the sneak section.
Yeah, I think it was with the 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, those were some pretty cool artworks, and the recent one also, the other one, Keishi, I believe. I don't know whether Mitch has actually changed the lore on the game for that. I mean, the name for that as well. But yeah, those look pretty good. But on the sidelines, the image in front of you right now over here, we have the Righteous and we have the Fallen.
Yes.
Which is the Fallen commander and which one is the Righteous commander over here?
Well, that's the mint page. The commanders are on the left-hand side, and the weapons are on the right. So the Righteous and the Fallen, you won't know until
the background images.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the background images, the one on the left is the Righteous, so obviously with the tattoo on his face, and then on the right is the Fallen.
Okay. So now it's a real debate that actually is going on. I personally would like to stay as a merchant, be good to both the factions. Let's see if such an option is made available. But yeah, there is a lot of to and fro happening between whether you want to join the Righteous or whether you want to join the Fallen army. But personally, I would say the Fallen commander looks pretty sick compared to the Righteous commander. Okay, I'm kind of hinging towards that.
I'm team Righteous, but I'll put my hands up. For me, the Fallen artwork is just it's insane, out this world. I'm a lover to the Fallen artwork, but obviously I'm the Righteous. I've got to fight for the good guys.
Nice. Okay. Let me just see. Where did that go? Okay. I'm just trying to get my screen share done for another artwork that I want to showcase over here. Yeah. There you go. I mean, these are the Fallen commanders, I believe, with different
that's three of them. I mean, that's three of them.
Sections.
Yeah.
Okay. And these, I believe, are the epic ones. I mean, a level below the legendary.
Let's see if I can get my screen up. Give me 2 seconds. Can I share my screen? No, I can't share my screen, can I?
Yeah, you can. You have an option in the bottom to present your screen. You will just have to.
Oh yeah, present. There we go. Yeah. Let me go. Let me go and get a picture up. Let me go and give me 2 seconds. Let's go and find it right in there.
Well, we do have a legendary artwork reveal as well in this specific AMA. That's an exclusive. So I don't know if you're showing that now.
Yeah, no. You pick that up, and I'll dig out this this picture. Where is it?
So in the meantime, while Andy picks up the picture, if you have not looked into the website, I would suggest that you go ahead and check the website out. I'll just go ahead and also paste the link for minting the commanders and the weapons section over here in the chat. So you could just have a look at that as well.
Typical, isn't it? Whenever you want to try and find something.
It always happens.
There we go. It is there. Right, have you shown the legendary picture? Yeah, I'm going to get these up now. So if I go to...
Nope, not yet.
Right, if you show the legendary, because when I show my picture, it's going to have it in it.
Okay. I mean, let's do a joint reveal then. You go ahead and share it. It's okay. Let's do that reveal. Anyway, it's still exclusive.
Yeah, let's do that now. Right, so I need to go back onto...
I must say, I mean, the banners that you guys have designed for both the Righteous and the, the Fallen, they are also pretty cool.
Share screen, share that one. Right, now we're in business. So, share screen. So let me get this picture up.
Yep.
Right, can you see that?
There you go.
There we go.
Awesome.
So, if we're coming over from the left-hand side, that is the uncommon. The next one along is the rare. The middle one is the epic. That big monster there is the legendary, and then on the right is the mythical.
Awesome. I really love the legendary portion. The main part being, the amount of detailing that you guys have actually done in. I mean, kudos to the entire artists team and the people who had the plans of designing it, because you could clearly see, if you can just zoom in a little, Andy, you could actually see that the belt straps, the cones on the armor, I mean, the, whatever you want to call it, the thorns or whatever it is, on the shoulder plates, in fact.
Yeah.
So those are high quality detail, and I can actually look at the gloss and the lighting effect that's been given into it. I can definitely say these are top quality artworks.
Yeah, and the good thing with these is that these colours, obviously there'll be variations. So there'll be variations to the armours. So some will have smaller horns, bigger ones, no horns. I don't know, you probably can't see it there, but there's a ring in the nose. This here with the strap across the body. Obviously, all these things will be different, and all different colour variations and boots, depending obviously on what you mint. So these fallen characters, are now complete. So in terms of right, let's get rid of that. Let's go off. Stop sharing. Yeah. So in terms of the artwork for the fallen guys, they are now done. The righteous are literally being finished off now. So 1 to 2 weeks from now, the artwork will be complete. And then basically what's going to happen is when people then mint, they will actually see the actual artwork come up. So rather than it just be a rarity, there will actually be the artwork that comes up, so you'll see what you're getting. So if you mint and then you say, oh, yeah, I like that one, but I want to try again, you get to see each time that it comes up. And obviously remember as well, with these NFTs will be a like for like in the game. So those 3D NFTs you see, if they're red, yellow, blue, whatever color they are, the traits and everything will be a representation in the game.
That's awesome. I can say one thing, that these are not, they're not like kind of generative arts, because when you said that the horns will be smaller, the straps will be different, the colors, I mean, it's not just that you build one single 3D model and you just change the color over it. That's not how it's being done. You are building separate accessories, you are building separate 3D models, and like you just mentioned, that specific 3D model as an NFT that you get will be one in the game. That looks will obviously be the same, right? So that's huge. I mean, that's a very good improvement. And
So I don't know from your perspective, but obviously I've been in a lot of NFT projects, okay, over the last year. And the one thing that always for me has been a problem is the artwork. The artwork for me hasn't been to a high enough level, and people buy things because they like the way it looks. So the reason the artwork's taken so long for us is because we've been back and forth with the artist. The artist will produce something, and then we'll say, we don't like it, or can you change this? Can you change that? And what people don't realise is when you're creating it in the Blender and the Maya software, the artist can't just get a piece and just change it there and then. It has to be re-rendered, remodeled, rebuilt from scratch. So this is why the NFT artwork has taken so long, because we want it to be right, because we know the artwork in representation to everybody that out there that sees it, that's what creates the brand. So that's why it's took so long.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I have seen a lot of NFT projects, and I've seen a lot of handmade NFTs. By handmade, I mean actually drawn paintings and converted to NFTs, or digitally drawn ones by hand. Else, these kind of 3D models which are prepared with Blender or any other software that's there for design. And yes, it does take a lot of time, because when you want to achieve that quality, you definitely need to spend the time. You cannot just rush it with AI generative art. Yes, to a certain extent right now, AI might be helping, but I mean, true art is true art always. You cannot get the lighting and other stuff too accurately with AI. You cannot do that.
No. And the thing is as well, massive credit needs to go to the artists, because the artists themselves, you can find loads of artists, but if they haven't got the art mind to create it, because how it works is we put an idea to the artist and we say, look, we want something like this. They then have to come up with the idea in their own mind, then feed it back to us and say, I've created this. We then say we like it, don't like it, and then it changes. So a lot of credit has to go to the artists, and they're very hard to find in this space.
Correct. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And do you have anything to share exclusive here? I'm just asking you directly right now, without any previous conversations, regarding the weapons. Do you have any artwork that you can actually showcase?
Or do we have I don't have any artwork. So there are currently there's currently 4 different designs, which we're still trying to agree on what's the best. So because the main focus has been on the righteous and the fallen characters, the artist can't do everything at once. So we've got 4 provisional designs of the weapons in the background. And as soon as the righteous is completed, sort of the finalized within the next week, then the weapons will start to get a conclusion and come out with some initial designs of what the weapons look like, so that people will be able to see those. But the righteous and the commander NFTs were always going to be the hardest versus the weapons, because there's so many different variations to the actual characters versus what the weapons are. I mean, you think about it, if there's a sword, for example, there's so many variations of a sword that you can have, but obviously with a commander and a righteous, there's so many different things like head, feet, arms, body armor, waist, you know, it's a lot more detailed. So we decided to tackle the harder first versus the ones that, of the weapons afterwards. So
yeah,
that's
nice.
to be seen.
Nice
To be seen.
Okay, I'll wait for the sneak peek. I'm okay with waiting, because I've seen the quality of work that the team has been putting out lately, and it's top notch. So when any crypto project as such, personally for me, goes with the thing in mind of towards, you know, leans towards the quality aspects rather than rushing things and just getting something out there. That's when I feel that, okay, there is some real dedication going on. There is some real work that's happening in the background. But when you do not, you know, ideally see that quality, and you ideally just take some short amount of time to just release something in a rush, and then it all goes down to the drain, then it's of no use, right? So yeah, I'm okay personally with waiting a lot. I'm sure the entire community is too, and they are hyped about it in terms of whatever you have showcased right now, as well as whatever is there in the sneak peeks. I've seen the reactions, I've seen the conversations go on Discord and the Telegram groups. They're excited about it. I'm excited too. So what more do we have when we have the commanders and the weapons and stuff? What's more is coming?
Yeah, so if we touch on to the NFT staking, which is the latest announcement that we've just done. So the reason we decided to tackle this was because, obviously, as everybody can appreciate, we're in a tough market at the moment, tough economy, and there's lots of people in this community that have invested into the project to allow us to get to where we are currently. So what we decided, we thought, right, let's now start to reward the people that have been in early and give them an advantage over everybody else that turns up to the party later. So we've come up with a staking bonus to put the NFTs in, and in turn that will give set bonuses, an increased percentage, obviously, for people getting in now versus obviously getting in later because of the lower minter numbers. So I don't know if you want me to share my screen again, or you want to do yours. Have you got the staking?
Oh, you could go ahead, Andy. I do not have that entire list with me, so yeah, it's better that you do it.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'll get that page up.
And you're telling me that this is not being showcased to the community yet?
The staking page is on the white paper now. So if anyone went to look at it, but the full detail it's going to be coming out in an announcement. But if you was to go and look at the white paper now, the stuff is there. So let me just get this up to share the screen. So let's just put that in there. Give me 2 seconds and I will share. Right, so staking is there. Right, so I'm going to share screen. Present, share screen. Share. Right, there we go. Right, I'm sharing screen now. So I'm onto the white paper here. And if you go under Cryptopian Warzone, you've got game modes, troops, NFT collections, and under NFT collections there is a section that says staking. Okay. Now for the actual NFTs themselves, this includes commanders and weapons. You are going to be able to stake up to 12 NFTs into a pool. Okay, and in this pool, you will earn a token that is called WRZN. So Warzone, and that is an in-game currency which is going to be used for the ecosystem. So it's not a native token. It can't be sold. It is for exclusive rewards only. Okay. So the idea is that if you have, say, 3 NFTs and they're all uncommon, you would drop them into this pool on here, and you would earn, obviously, WRZN tokens per day for the amount that you've got in there. Okay. I won't go into too much detail on rarity because that detail will come later. But obviously, if you've got a higher rarity, you would naturally get a higher bonus anyway. But if we come down to the actual what you're going to get from these are just an idea initially. Obviously, again, more detail will be given and enhanced on this as we confirm more details. But if you got enough tokens and you had enough to be the first person to go and mint the reward, you would get what's called, obviously, the gold one. So there's only ever going to be one of those. And then it goes down to silver, bronze, and then 4th to 15th would be what we call a royal purple. So this would be another reward, but there would be 11 of them, for example. But it's all about who can gain the most tokens, obviously the quickest. So if we come on to the second section, which is the early mint staking bonus, it's broken down into percentages. So for the commanders, for example, the first 100 that are minted, you would obtain a maximum of 25% bonus. So if I give you an example that a commander earned 100 tokens per day, by having a mint number that is 0 to 100, you would gain an extra 250 tokens per day because of the 25% bonus. So the whole idea is the quicker you mint and the lower mint number you get, the faster you're going to earn these additional tokens. So it's rewarding the people that buy early versus the ones that buy at the end. So you can see how much of a difference this would be, because if you're in the first, let's call it first 1,000, okay? If you're in the first 1,000, you're going to get between 20 to 25%. If you turn up later and you're, say, 4,000, you're only going to get a 5% boost. So you would have to buy way more commanders to obtain the same amount of bonus as what you would have done if you bought these early on. So again, it's about rewarding the early investors, obviously, that want to buy the mints earlier on. Okay. Now, with these bonuses, okay, all the rewards that you earn, which if we go back to the staking and we look at this area here of the prizes, if you earn a gold NFT, for example, let's say it's an exclusive weapon, because that will be one of the ones up for grabs, okay? You are then entitled to go and either use that for yourself in game, or you can put it on the open marketplace, and you'll be able to sell that for money. So the incentive there would be, and you can set the price whatever you want it to be. So if you had a gold special one-off weapon and you were to go and list it on the marketplace, in effect, you could list that for whatever price you wanted to, because nobody else is going to have one.
Wow. And these nobility mints, will they be NFTs on chain, or will they be just assets inside the game?
They will be NFTs on chain, because you'll be selling them on an open marketplace. So I'll give you an example. We haven't set whether it will be in BNB or BUSD, for example. But let's say we decide that these go on the marketplace for BUSD. Okay, you would then go onto the marketplace, put your NFT on there, and a person can buy that whatever it is that you earn off the marketplace for BUSD.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when you mentioned marketplace, I thought the in-game marketplace, but now it's like, okay, it can be listed on OpenSea, it can be listed on the Binance NFT space, or anywhere else that you want for whatever.
Correct.
Your whatever amount that you want to. That's left to you, because you're the owner of it right now. That's cool.
Yeah, correct. So like we've got the commanders and the weapons can be sold on, or will be sellable on an open marketplace for BNB. So in that NFT marketplace, we will have another section which will be for these custom one-off NFTs that there is no other way to get these NFTs unless you own commanders or weapons. It won't be possible. So this is the only way you can get them. And if you've got the earlier mint numbers, you obviously will get access to more of a bonus.
Wow. And the mint amount is what I'm a little deeper into this. So the mint amount is actually set for these 15 special NFTs, and you can only earn it or probably mint it using the WRZN tokens or Warzone tokens that can only be obtained by minting or staking these commander NFTs. And
correct.
The faster you are to actually mint, the more bonus you get in terms of staking rewards. So yeah, consider that you have just around, say, 5 NFTs of commanders or 5 commanders with you right now, and you're in the range of that first 1,000 mints. On an average, let me just put it that you would get somewhere around 22%, 22.5% of
Yep.
additional rewards as compared to many others, and that's only for 5 NFTs that you have. The other set of people minted somewhere after 4,000 or so would be likely having to purchase, if they want to reach that particular amount of rewards, they would have to go 4 times that commander. So it's like 20 commander NFTs that they need to go ahead and stake to get that
Yes.
same bonus as against the first 1,000 people who minted it with just 5 NFTs.
That's correct.
So
And
clearly
also,
gets a very big advantage.
yeah, and also what will happen is if when it comes to the marketplace and the NFTs are put up for sale, the fact that you've got the lower mint number and you've now got these extra awards will make the lower mint numbers become very valuable compared to later on. So if you go and mint an uncommon, for example, or a rare, and it's mint number, say, 205 versus an uncommon that is mint number 4,500, your uncommon, even though they're the same rarity, the lower mint number is going to be worth a lot more money than a higher number. So there's now an extra reward, and it makes your asset a way more valuable compared to later on.
Wow. Yeah, that's like, a very good reward for people who are early supporters of the game or early supporters of the mint and owning a commander and stuff. And in a way, it also gives you that that urge to just hold your commander till that last end, because that instead of all these flippers who just come in, just mint the NFT and then go ahead and list it immediately in marketplaces, you can definitely avoid that because there is a lot more bonuses in play over here.
Yeah, no, correct. And the good thing as well is with this, it won't be a set forever. So the idea is for now, which we're in the process of writing the contract to enable you to put your NFTs into the staking contract. When we come to launch, the whole system will be reset. So for now, for example, you drop your NFTs and go and stake them, and then come the end of, say, the season prior to launch, whoever gets to that set amount, they'll be able to claim, and then we reset. When the game launches, we go again. And every single season, those WRZN tokens will be reset. So it doesn't allow somebody to have so many tokens that they're always going to win. So it's about resetting, and then you go again. And that's where the marketplace will come into play, because somebody could buy more NFTs to get more of that bonus.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a fair play, I would say, because you're not keeping it, one, a very short term, and two, not continuous as such, right? So if it's a continuous system, then it's only those who are early supporters who will long-term benefited. Yes, I agree, they do deserve it, but to what extent? When you need to definitely attract the newer crowd into your game. And now, what better option do you have than, or I would say, what better strategy do you have than making this a seasonal kind of a event, and saying that okay, all these 15 exclusive NFTs also would be. I mean, I believe those would also be made seasonal, right? The 15 nobility mints.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. So
yeah, I mean the other
nobility mints, will they be seasonal?
Yeah, they'll be per season, so there'll be new ones each season.
Yeah. Got it. So I mean that gives you that urge to either buy more or hold more.
Yeah, and just remember, obviously, if there's one season, there's only going to be one gold. So there's only one up for grabs. Then the next season, there's other gold, the silver and the bronze. So it's not like there's going to be a very, very limited supply. And also to note as well, even if you're earning lots of Warzone tokens, unless you physically log in and go to claim, that doesn't mean you automatically get the prize. So the whole idea, so say for example, you need 100,000 Warzone tokens to claim the gold. Okay, say for example, I've got 120,000, and you're on 90,000, but I don't log in to check, and then a couple of days later, you've now got 100,000. If I hadn't hit claim, you're going to beat me to it. So it's
absolutely.
You've got to be active as well. It's not just you get a set amount of tokens and then that's yours. You have to physically go in the system, use your tokens to purchase it, then it becomes yours.
One thing I would definitely say to this particular strategy that you have made is kind of it's brilliant for me because it rewards people who are playing the game rather than people who just have money to throw in, mint some top NFTs and just throw those NFTs to staking and just wait for the rewards to come in. So no, you're actually giving that option more to the gamers who are more active on the game. And actually, I don't know about a lot of other people, but I have seen a lot of people who usually go ahead and in these kind of economy based in the staking based economy, they just purchase NFTs, they just put it to stake and they just forget about it, right? It's just that end time that they go ahead and hit the claim button and then take off their rewards and then cash out. So that's usually how a lot of people who are not so active towards the GameFi section work around. But yeah, this is like, you need to be active in the game, you need to log into the game, you need to claim your tokens. And if anyone else who is having, that also gives me another idea where even if you own 5, like the other example I mentioned earlier, even if you own just 5 commanders in the first 1,000 mints and you're getting that mint bonus of 22.5%, whatever is the maths, okay, you are getting those additional percentage of tokens. If you are not claiming it, even a person who has minted almost 5,000 later will still be able to mint that gold nobility NFT because he or she is active on the game more and they're claiming those Warzone tokens. Awesome. Yeah. That's a really good move if you ask me. Well, I'm intrigued, Andy. So I'm very much excited now to see how the staking and other things work out. So is there any hard set timeline for the staking pool to kind of move up? I think it will be before the game launch. So is there any time frame for that?
Yeah. So the staking pool right now is kind of a priority. So we want to get the staking contract set up so that people can start to drop their NFTs in there and start accumulating, obviously, those rewards. So we are working on a dashboard in the background. So the idea will be that we'll create a dashboard. It'll be live on the website, and then people will be able to see how much they're earning. And then obviously we can set out the rewards and the prizes accordingly from that.
Awesome. That's great. A couple of pretty big bombs and pretty big updates regarding crypto villages that you have shared with us today, especially the staking one and the legendary NFT reveal that did happen right now. I'm very much excited, and on the excitement part, keeping aside, I'm also very much patient in terms of giving you that time for the team to build, because personally, I want a game which I would love to play, right? Rather than, the money comes next. Yes, it's definitely there. Everyone wants to go ahead and use the play to earn concept to make some money, but ultimately, I want to see that blockchain GameFi space evolve, right? I do not want to have those temple run kind of games where you just go about collecting coins and then at the end of the game you say that, okay, you have won this much, you can cash it out. I don't want those kind of games. I want proper games where you can enjoy, you can actually be a gamer while you're playing it, rather than just a person who would be earning in the game. A lot of play to earn games have this concept of you need to initially invest, but then the game itself is not so engaging, and then later on you do lose that user base, and that plays a very vital role, right? And ideally whatever you have bought initially also would not be a worthy investment because there is no user base for the game itself. I do not want to quote any of the other examples over here, but we have seen a lot. If people are in the crypto space, I think the biggest name out there with which made ripples in the GameFi industry, now where is it at? So
yeah, I think what people, or my view of like the gaming projects especially and crypto in general, I think I've taken a different approach personally. I think you have to look at, especially the gaming sector, you've got to say to yourself, you need entertainment first. If you have the entertainment and it becomes like fun, you want to play it, there's an interaction between the community, the money comes second. If you're aiming to deliver a gaming project solely to make money, normally that's not going to work. So you need to create an ecosystem that has enjoyment, entertainment, and it becomes sustainable, and that you're going to keep bringing in new user base. Now, if you do that, the money will flow later because naturally it will grow. So anybody that's early into that gaming project will make a lot of money because you were early to the party. Anyone that thinks you're going to get into a gaming project and become a millionaire within the first couple of months, it's not possible. It's just doesn't happen. So I think the thing is with us as crypto villages, it's always been about entertainment. Now, obviously, I'll be honest with you, even if we had a game to launch tomorrow, I would not be advising to launch a game right now in this economy and market. This economy and market now is all about being sensible, playing the game, sticking around, keep building, and just watching. And I'm not just on about Crypto Villages. This every project that's out there. What are the team doing? Are they active? Are things happening? You know, is this project still going to be around in a couple of months' time? Can it survive the bear market? Can it survive everybody, you know, cashing out the system right now? If it can, that's where you put your money. You put your money into those projects because you know as soon as the market turns and there's adoption and people come back, boom, it's liftoff.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, when I have seen the worst of what we are seeing right now, I mean, this is kind of normal to me because the same thing happened right when the Bitcoin crash was there years back. So, I mean, that was way worse, I'll tell you. That situation was way worse. But over here right now, at least the dominance has split across from, just a few cryptos that were in the market. It's diversified. We have a lot more people who entered into crypto in the last 1.5 year time. And it's the situation itself has changed because now more people are aware about crypto. People are speaking about crypto. The governments themselves are coming into the regulatory aspects and stuff. A lot of crackdowns, a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a buzz, right? So my head is swelling ever since that FTX debacle that's happening from the last couple of days. So, I mean, a lot of things to actually get in and stuff like that. So, but when all said and done, the dust settles down and we see that, okay, this is what exists after all this bear market has, come and washed out. Those are the projects which would definitely take that top of the line. What I would say is people who are coming into crypto at that point of time will only have these as their shopping list. All right. Yeah. And these are the projects that is where you can expect people coming in and, okay, did this particular project survive the last bear cycle? Tick mark. Is it still active? Tick mark. Does it have a utility? Tick mark. Does it actually work right now and is it sustainable? Tick mark. Okay, I'm going to put my money there. That's the kind of people which we will definitely expect in the coming days because now that mania of people getting into it, be it the pandemic, be it the meme coin burst out that did come out. I mean, everything is said and done. And as far as I've been seeing people in many of the other spaces also that's happening on Twitter lately, I've seen that shift in terms of how people think. Earlier, it was just about talks stating, okay, this is a 100x token, this is a 1000x token, this is a 10,000x token. I'm like, okay, do you even know mathematics of how market cap and price action works? All right, let's keep that aside. But now people are more into, okay, does this particular project have any investments in some shady stuff, or does this particular project look into a long-term sustainable platform, or are these guys the one to go for in terms of actually looking into a long-term investment? These are the kind of talks and these are the kind of mentality that the people have got right now. Yes, there are a few degen groups, there are a few degen plays that are still happening. Even I do degen plays with a portion of some of my, the amount that I've set aside for it. But yes, people are getting more educated, more aware. And when we see that there is a project that has survived this bear cycle, there is a project that's actually building in this bear cycle and going ahead and just quoting, no, our project is the best, our token is the best, it will obviously go a 10x, it will obviously go a 15x. And the launch itself, if you ask me on a personal note, it's a very critical stage for any crypto out there. So that should be strategically planned. And I mean, if you can definitely launch it with some proper backing, yes, it's all good. But if not, considering the strategic situation out there, it's always good to be told and probably plan for a little better time.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously follow the space a lot, and I know so many projects over the last sort of 3 weeks, especially, have cancelled launches or they've reprogrammed to move it because this is the sentiment of the market now. So yeah, like I say, I look at teams, I look at who's building, what are they doing, are they active? Are the team talking to the community? And the one thing I've always loved about Crypto Villages, and you've seen it yourself, we just don't get any FUD. I mean, I see so much negativity out in the space right now, and Crypto Villages just doesn't get it. It's just, it's a breath of fresh air. But you know what you were just talking about in terms of the space? Do you not find it makes you harder? You've been around for a long time, yeah? It makes you harder as a person, doesn't it? And you're able to switch off from the negativity.
I'm telling you, yes. That's the reason I told you my head is actually swirling. So
Yeah.
with a lot of people coming in and pouring in a lot of information out there, I mean, it's hard to even come out and gauge. Okay, this is what is happening. This is the truth. This is the lie, and this is the sentiment, right? So, oh, it's like everything is just coming in on your head at a time, and it's too difficult to process all that information that's going through. I mean, it's difficult, I would say, yes, and especially, I mean, I've seen this situation earlier, so it's nothing new to me on a personal note. So I'm quite okay with it. I'm a little more conservative on my investments. So on those grounds, it's quite fine. But there are a lot of people who have definitely lost a lot of money. So my heart goes out to them. Only thing that I would say is, at least now, do please be a little more careful and invest in good projects and legit projects, also projects that build a sustainable future, not just to make some money out there. So, and crypto villages out there, guys, on a personal note, not to endorse it or not to go ahead and say this is the only project out there. No, there are many, but yes, crypto villages is definitely one of those projects which has a team which is working for the project alone and not concerned about the revenue aspects on the first top priority. So for them, the game, the entertainment, and the user base is more important. The community is more important rather than just going ahead and deploying a contract, building a shit game. I'm sorry to use this word, but I've seen that happening a lot in the blockchain sector. So and you just drop it on the heads. I mean, I've seen a lot many games that are there, and in fact they are just cheap reskins. I mean, there are games which you can actually reskin to a very high level, but they are just like cheap reskins. Yeah. Those are the games that you are actually expecting from a lot of projects which says that they are going to build a game. If such is a scenario and you want to invest in these kind of projects, I would say personally, please stay away from them because they're not sustainable at all. Although initially you might make some small amount, they are definitely not sustainable at all in the future. And we are seeing it right now. How many projects, Andy, you just mentioned about canceling. I have personally 5 projects which have shut down operations in this particular 2 days time. They have completely shut down. They have just like, no, we do not have enough revenue, or not able to raise enough revenue. So we are going to stop it right there. We are going to give this project away or probably relaunch it sometime later. Those are the talks that have happened in the past just 2 days time. Right?
Relaunch. Yeah. Relaunches, by the way, never work. Relaunches never work.
I don't know. Absolutely, yes. They'd never work. I mean, once you lose the trust of the community or probably the trust of the entire crowd out there, I don't know how you would even go ahead and plan your relaunch. I mean, if you go for a complete rebrand and a relaunch, then it's a different story out there because then it's like you're a new project to the entire ecosystem, a new chain, everything as such. But yeah, I mean, if you're planning to just do a relaunch, it definitely will not work. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. Yeah. I've seen that happening.
Do you know the biggest failure in the gaming sector, believe it or not, is MOBA games. MOBA games are the most failing gaming projects in the space, and so many people get sucked in. To deliver a MOBA game cost millions of dollars.
Yes. I mean, that's why I said, those cheap reskins.
Yeah, that's why they never get delivered. I could go onto Fiverr's website now and I can buy a MOBA skin that you call it, rebrand and sell it to you, no problem. Yeah. And that's the one area I try and educate people on as much as I can. The MOBA sector is very, very bad for crypto because it's flashy lights, flashy pictures, something moving about the screen, and people go, whoa, yeah, I've got to get in this. And MOBAs. I mean, you probably know League of Legends, games like that.
Yes,
they take years to make.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, unless and until you have the capital, you have the right studio or the people to go ahead and build the game for you. You have a solid. That's where I see the fundamentals, right? And there have been few companies of you. I don't know much about the crypto portion, but yes, I have seen this one MOBA game. I guess it is Hero Legends or something. I'm not so sure. But yeah, there was this one which was clearly well done because they have been in development for the game from the past 3.5 years. That's the duration they took to just build the game. And after which they came into that portion of, a token launch, NFTs, and integrating that to a Web3 wallet and stuff like that. That's where they were actually successful because they had the product ready. They had built it from the 3.5 years. There is another AAA game which is there. I again forgot the name. that's an installable version on your PC. Like you need a PC to play that, and it's a AAA graphics title, to be very frank, and that has been in build phase from the past 9 years.
Wow.
That's how much time it takes for a studio to go ahead and give you that kind of quality gameplay experience. And if you are in crypto and you're investing in a GameFi platform looking for a quick flip, then I don't know. I would say it's just a degen play, or it's just set to go down the drain. As simple as that. If you're looking into those legit GameFi projects, the minimum duration that I would give is 1.5 years. That's the minimum duration I would give, at least for a basic demo version. A basic demo version. That's the duration that it takes for you to go ahead and build, because you're using your imagination. You are doing your hard work in the back end. There is a lot of technical stuff involved. In fact, I don't know about whether I've quoted this or not, Andy. In my, just early days of college, actually worked as an apprentice or an internship in a gaming company for game testing. And believe it or not, the moment I found one single bug, it used to take up almost 3 days to get it resolved sometimes. Just one single bug. And I have tested it on various iOS devices. I used to test this mobile game on various iOS devices. What used to work on an iPhone 4 did not work on an iPad 1. It's just as simple as, the dialogue pop-up did not come. And to fix that, they took 3 days.
Yeah.
Because there was an underlying bug in the backend which did not allow that in terms of compatibility, software issues, and stuff like that. So there is a lot more in play. So it's not as simple as we say of building a game. Okay, we are just going to launch it very soon. No, it's a tough game out there.
Yeah, I think with anything, I think as long as someone's talking, like if I'm an investor, if someone's talking to me, giving me feedback, what's happening, what's going on, that makes me feel safe. I mean, you know Amazon, the company, don't you? Amazon, for example, the first few years they struggled. People bought shares into Amazon. They never thought it was going to work. Amazon's now the biggest company in the world. So things they take time.
Absolutely yes. It's all about having the right strategy in place. You might never see immediate gains, but in the long term, you must have that vision and the goal, right? Okay, 2 years down the lane, where does your company stand? Where does your project stand? If you know that and you're planned for that as a pathway, then your project is definitely going to succeed. When you look at certain roadmaps and they say that, okay, Q1 2022, we're going to launch the token. Q2 2022, we are going to have a staking platform. Q3 2022, we are going to have NFTs. Q4 2022, the project itself is gone.
Yeah. And you've probably seen it.
A lot of follow.
No, you're right. Most projects, it is literally roadmap, launch token. We're going to do X, Y, Z over the next 3 months, and 9 times out of 10, it doesn't happen. So I do see that a lot.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, that's where after all this stuff has happened in the past months as such, I would say that I've stopped looking at actual roadmaps at all. I've stopped believing roadmaps. I look into the actual way that they have written the white paper. I look into the content of what they're planning to do. I speak to the team on the Discord or Telegram or any other social media that they're active on. I ask them certain tough questions. How are their funds coming in? How are they actually planning for the next case they do not meet requirements and stuff, initial stages in terms of fundraising and things? I mean, they should be having all the plan A, plan B, plan C in place. If they do not have a plan A, plan B, plan C, then I would just sit back and watch. I would definitely not put my money over there. I would just sit back and watch until and unless I see that, okay, there is some significant progress made, there is some trust that is earned, and that is when I go ahead and put in some amount over there.
Yeah, no, you just, anyone watching this, what you've just said, that is absolutely how you should be assessing projects now. Who's the team? Mm-hmm. What are they doing? Are they active? And what's their plan? Ask them certain questions, and if they hide away from it, stay away. You know, any project that you go into that is new should be able to answer open and honest questions. Get on a VC, talk to them. If they're not prepared to share their voice or talk to you about an actual structure, they have nothing. Until they tell you, they have nothing. And that's where so many people gamble on these plays and there's just certain things you can do, like what you've just said. But your experience, so you've learned this now.
Yeah.
But especially any new person, you've got to do your research. You can't expect to get into something and just make money. You have to assess the overall structure of everything that they've got.
Absolutely. See, I would say you want to gamble, you go ahead and gamble, but gamble with only 20% of what you've got. Not financial advice though, but that's what I would do. If I have $100, I game around with $20. That's play money for me. If it comes, it comes. If it goes, it goes. But the rest 80, that's the amount that's definitely going into legit projects, because even if I lose the $20 today in that gambling option, I will definitely earn that back with this $80 that I've put in another project which is good and legit.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the play that you need to do. And rightly said that you need to ask the tough questions. Do not go ahead and ask them when is the launch, when is the staking platform. Those are the generic questions which even if you do not ask, they will definitely announce it on their own. So ask them the question of what is it that you want to do in the crypto space? How long are you planning to take in terms of building whatever you're planning to build? What is the progress right now? What is the current situation? What about the funds? Where have you secured it? Do you rely on the community to build those assets for you, or do you rely upon some other external source for the funding to happen, so that even if the community or probably the people who over here right now tomorrow leave, you will still be in good place to go ahead and continue your build phase? Is that what you're relying upon? Now, I've been in a couple of NFT projects lately, and forget the recent market debacle. Before that, I had seen two projects specifically. I do not want to name them, but there are these two projects which had some excellent artwork portrayed. The artwork was simply mind-blowing, I'll tell you. That was some pretty kick-ass 3D of artwork that was there. And I fell in love with the artwork specifically. So sometimes I just buy NFTs because I like the artwork in them. So I was pretty mind-blown with the artwork and stuff. But then I just started fiddling around and started searching a few of Blender models and those Unity assets that you keep getting, right? Voila, what did I find? The same specific NFT with the color change that these guys had actually portrayed. I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to use that word, but okay. All right, so this is another area that I need to be a little more careful about. Now, yeah, I'm okay with you using free Blender models, free Unity models and stuff, but even after using them, there is some kind of some artistic nature, and there should be some fundamental backing towards those NFTs or projects that you have. The only thing that both the projects, in fact, the only thing that they were just quoting was, we are going to launch the minting phase right now on this particular date and time. The next day onwards, checking platform, and that's it. What's next after that? We're going to think. We are going to make a DAO. Let the DAO decide what the community needs to do. I was like, okay, if the DAO decides to shut down the project, will you go ahead and do that? I asked this question right away, and I got banned.
Wow. See, that's the difference. Yeah. See, the reason people make NFT contracts is because it's easy. You get some artwork, you sell it to people, and then you come up with the idea afterwards because you've then got the money. So I get why some projects do it, because if you've got no funds, it's a very easy way to get funds in. But you should have a plan for when that money comes in, what you're going to do with it. By saying that you just going to make NFTs, that tells you they've got no idea, and you stay a million miles away from that. See, the difference with Crypto Villages is we created a game, had an idea, ecosystem, white paper, then the NFTs came. They were an add-on for the PvP, the PVM. So that's how you kind of like add NFTs later, because you've got a substance there to back it up. But yeah, normally NFTs is to raise the funds to then see where it goes, because they don't know whether they're going to mint out. But yeah, you should have a plan, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I totally understand projects which go ahead and say, okay, we do not have funds. We do not have any venture capitals backing us. We do not have any external funds backing us to go ahead and build what we want to build. So we are going to launch our NFTs and let the community help us out so that we get those, we secure those funds to go ahead and build on. But on the sidelines, I mean, the decision is ultimately yours as an investor, because it's your money end of the day. If you would like to go ahead and set up a specific project, the artwork that they are actually having, then go ahead and buy the NFT. Personally, I have bought two or three of those NFTs just because I like the artwork. I'm not bothered about what they did next, to be very frank. I'm not even gone back and even checked, to be frank. I do have a few NFTs.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I've done the same. I've bought NFTs in the past purely because it's like, wow, they look really cool. And then it's like, right, what do these do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely. So that's fine. I mean, that's where your individual decision making comes into picture, right? So if you want to go ahead and just buy it because you like it, yeah, be a collector. That makes you into a collector. But if you're looking into an investment perspective, that is when you need to be double careful and do all this kind of research a little more. Because whatever money that you're putting in to buy that NFT, if it's not for a collectible item, and if you do not have, if you are buying it purely for a intention of investment and gaining something out of it, be it either in the resale, be it either in the in-app utility or whatever utilities that are building out around the NFT, then you need to be very, very cautious, because that's where it's a trap. It's always a trap. I've seen a lot of these Genesis collections in terms of the cards that keep rotating around, stating.
Yeah.
You won't believe, Andy, I've seen a couple of NFT projects that say that you will be exclusively part of some top 100 traders and signals that you're going to get if you own this particular pass. I was like, seriously? I mean, why do you need signals and you need to spend? And those passes are like highly inflated. And one more thing that the NFT space, the entire people who are working on the NFT space should also be aware of is price inflation. Look at the contract of the NFT in the first place, and also check the transfer history of the NFTs. Because if you do not do that, it will be just transfer between wallets. Like me and Andy can just do a double transfer. And it's just like shifting wallets between me and him, and we just list the price at 1 ETH, 1.5 ETH, 2 ETH. So it's just like inflated.
Yeah, and then I could buy yours and you could buy mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all. And you just keep shifting that ETH between each other, and both of us are not losing ETH. It's just the gas fees, and that too on Matic. It's hardly anything though. So I mean, you can assume how these kind of scams also happen. So be careful, just be out there. And when you have these kind of projects which have a utility built first and then they start launching their NFTs or tokens or whatever it is, I personally would say these are the projects that you need to really get into, because now they have a product to market. They have something ready along with them. They do not have just promises, or they do not have just things which are said with, however good the graphics might be, however good the flyers they might make. It would have a couple of $100, $200 for anyone in Fiverr to go ahead and render that services for you. Not everyone will have in-house artists to go ahead and get it done, right? So I've seen like $10, Andy, you can actually get the entire trailer done for 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, people are there who do that. So I mean, when you can go for those kind of services, outsource it and just get it done between $10, $15 and then say, okay, this is what we are doing. Take a step back, see what is actually happening in the background, and then make a calculative decision. But yeah, I mean, it was great. Andy, do you have anything else? If we are at that 1 hour mark, do we have anything else from your end regarding crypto villages?
Yeah, no, all good. I'll tell you what would be good though, if you're ever up for it, which I would be, is maybe host an AMA, nothing to do with CV, but maybe on the crypto space in general. Maybe we could get some people on here, talk about the bear market, good strategies, things to look for. I'd be more than happy to participate.
Awesome. I'm up for it. I'm always good to discuss crypto anytime with anyone, in fact. So the entire segment of Crypto Chat is the whole concept where it's not about those professional AMAs. We look at, we have a set of questions, we go about with those questions, and then I don't want that format. It's just casual chat, and we hang out and we understand how crypto works and how that specific project is actually leaning towards in terms of making crypto more useful for the people out there. So I'm totally up for it. We can definitely set up some time. I'll also see if I can pull in a few more people into it, and we can definitely call in a discussion. We'll do that.
Awesome.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, good. Okay. It's been good talking to you.
Awesome. Fine. Yep. Fine. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Okay.
Yep. Meet you all in the next episode of Crypto Chat. See you. Bye-bye.
See you soon.